I wish to talk about people. Society today is totally absorbed in the relationship of people, of humanity, of race to race, ideology to ideology, religion to religion, husband to wife, brother to sister. It is absorbed in this relationship because the greatest threat to the individual is the people around him or her. People are the source of worry, are the source of fear on this plane of earth. Now there are a few beings who can have relationship and consolation with the three other kingdoms of matter, who can converse on the higher levels of life with those kingdoms to have a meaningful and evolutionary relationship. But for so many in the world today who ignore the feelings and the divinity of those kingdoms, the relationship of people is of the prime importance. I would therefore like to consider that relationship and to offer a few thoughts for you to consider. Let us begin by stating the obvious, which is ignored by most people, that every human being that comes on this plane of earth is divine. It has, he or she, the spark of divinity within them, is linked to the Godhead, is a son or daughter of God, is fulfilling a divine purpose in the evolutionary pattern of humanity and of this earth on which he or she dwells. Every human being is therefore playing a part in the evolutionary cycle. And knowing the plan for this earth, it is a destined part. Therefore, every human being with whom you come in contact comes into contact with you because of that plan, because of the magnetic quality of your being, because of the quality of your being which you establish by thought, word and deed, and by the emanation of your soul quality. There can be no day, no night, when you meet someone by chance, when the person who stands before you has no meaning or purpose for you. For you are all magnetic beings, attracting or repelling the energies of other human beings into your circle. For the most part, people today are concerned totally with their relationships with other people. They either love them or they hate them. They like them or dislike them. They are trying to help them, they are trying to hinder them. They are trying to ignore them. They are trying to help them in their evolutionary path. People cannot be ignored. They are, for most of you, the center of your life. A husband for a wife, parents for children, brothers for sisters, neighbors for neighbors, country for country, continent for continent. How those people relate is of primary importance. Indeed, in times like this, when the world is apparently subsiding into chaos, where you, even on an individual level, feel threatened by the violence and the degradation of society around you, it is only natural that you should look at people, should consider most carefully who and what they are, what is the note that they sound, what is the consciousness which they exemplify. Let us begin by stating that the divinity of this plan knows no error. Even in this world of chaos and division, in a world where violence is threatened, it is only natural that you are suspicious of people. The openness of the past has perhaps gone for good. You live in a world where everyone is suspicious of other people, of what they will say, what they will do, what is the state of their mental abilities, what is the state of their physical abilities, are they to be trusted, can they be admitted close to one, and so on and so on. There is therefore a great sifting process going on in your mind. Everyone that comes before you is perhaps accepted or rejected according to your understanding of who or what they are. But what is the source of that judgment? Consider, is it not true that you like people who feel as you do and dislike people who oppose you? Therefore, the people who feel and think like you are your friends, and those who do not feel like you are your enemies. But what is the reality of that? Why should one be a friend and the other be an enemy? For all they are exhibiting is their individual and unique divinity. Maybe you can learn more from your enemies than from your friends. For if you only liaise with those people who support you because they are of your level of consciousness and evolution, if they perhaps support you in your weaknesses, those who would hold a mirror before you, who you do not like, who could perhaps bring about growth and evolution, are rejected before they even have the chance to hold that mirror. What therefore is the source of like and dislike? What is the source of the judgment that accepts or rejects the person who stands before you? Are you ruled by class? Are you ruled by accent? Are you ruled by wealth and position? Are you ruled by health or disease? Are you ruled by the color of skin? Are you ruled by religion and creed? Are you ruled by sex? Are you ruled by age? And so the list could go on. All of you, of course, are the subject of the conditioning of the society in which you live. Some of you are beginning to put aside that conditioning and to recognize the cause of your views, of your opinions, and to exhibit a more openness and tolerance towards the oneness of life and the respect for the individuality of all people, for the right to express what they are according to their note, to be what they choose to be. If you are affected by what they are, then that is something which you as an individual have to learn. People therefore come before you, attracted by your aura. They come to you for a purpose, to test you, to prove to you, to bring you messages, to bring you guidance. to help you along your path of life. Be careful that the humble person who comes to your door in ragged clothes seeking a glass of water and a precious 3 or 4 minutes of your time may be a great master with a key to open the door to your future enlightenment. Everyone that comes into your aura is worthy of your complete attention and consideration. And so few of you give it today. For what is standing before you in that person but the divinity of God? That which God has created in its image is standing before you to give of its energy. How few people today look with attention and give of their energy totally to the person whom they are meeting. And if they did, then that relationship, that cycle will be completed so much more quickly. Relationships exist today because there is not the complete and total exchange of energy, soul to soul, eye to eye, heart to heart. If that energy is given, if you give of your attention fully and completely, meet that person eye to eye and really look and see and feel what they are, then that relationship will be completed. The information which has to be passed will be passed. That which has to be learnt from that relationship will come forward. The message will be transmitted, and you will both be free to go about your individual ways. Very often, a person with whom you apparently have great conflict can be the guardian of a great message and purpose for you. Very often, because you erect the barriers, because you restrict what they can say or express to you, you are cutting off the message which you are waiting for to move you onto a new stage of consciousness and understanding. For what is the divinity doing but giving you the opportunity to evolve and to be tested at this critical stage of your lives? So I would say to you that every person with whom you meet that is attracted unto you is of divine importance, is an opportunity given to you to learn and to evolve, and indeed should be welcomed as bearing the message of your Creator for your evolutionary path. Learn from them. Learn from the divine which is before you. That is the purpose of your evolutionary path. That which stands before you is the mirror of your Creator. If you fulfill that relationship, then you pass through it. But if you resist, if you create hatred, if you create all the emotions which link you either positively or negatively with that person, then you are creating the burdens which will weigh you down for years to come, indeed for lives to come. I would say to you now, that as you sit here, any person whom you now positively dislike in this life, you have probably disliked for the last 100 lives, and will continue to do so until you break that chain. Liking or disliking is a personality trait. How can you like or dislike your Creator? Your Creator is. Your Creator is the power of love, channeling, and being grounded through every human being. You may not recognize the purpose of each human being's path. You may not see the purpose in what he or she is doing. You may not understand the relationship which will come from that meeting, but that is part of the divine plan. It is not for you to question that divinity, but to accept it gracefully, with the knowledge that that is the nature of your evolutionary path. That is something which you have to learn, otherwise you would not have been there at that moment in time. So as you meet people, recognize these facts. It is not for you to love or to hate, to like or to dislike. Do you hate the reflection you see in the mirror? Or do you love the reflection you see in the mirror? Either is a wasted emotion, for that mirror is but yourself. And what you see in that mirror is divine. Look similarly at the people around you. Consider all the energy which you waste in wrong relationships. Consider the energy which you misdirect to create burdens which will weigh you down for lives to come. And as you witness the so-called tragic events in the world around you, with people suffering, see that that is not blind chance, that is not fate, but that every deed has a reason. Every person has attracted the nature of that violence, of that lesson unto them. That it happens so frequently in this world is because the vibratory rate of the world is being speeded up, karma is being repaid, many lessons are being learnt at this critical moment in the Earth's evolution. It is not always like this. It has not always been like this. You live in difficult times. You live in times when you must recognize that all is divine, that all has purpose, that all is part of a plan. Even if you do not recognize it, even if you are not aware of it. Greet each person, therefore, as you would greet yourself. Do unto others. Greet others as you would greet yourself. Eye to eye, heart to heart, hands outstretched, a smile on your face. Though the person in front of you might repel your personality, he or she is divine. Can you repel the divine? I think perhaps, if I might give one little example, and then perhaps the Master Bruce would like to say something. You were talking about the story in the Bible of the lady who touched the aura of Jesus and was healed. Now, if you think that that lady, who had perhaps been sick for many years, who had a life of suffering, of relationships with people caused by that suffering, who had walked many, many miles, perhaps with many sacrifices, just to be at a certain point on a road along which a master walked. And in that split second of infinity, amidst many people, could touch that aura with belief and understanding and be healed. And that master could be there, and yet in that crowd and in the turmoil of his day, with all that was going on in his life, could be aware of that moment, recognize its significance, and act with love. And that woman would then depart, never to see that master again. There you have the example of what is relationship and what is people, of what is divinity and what is the plan.